So what is up, guys? Today I'm just gonna do a quick video on difficulty on learning a certain deck type. Um, and what I mean by that is 1 to 3 stars, one being pretty easy to learn, two being normal, and three being hard. So we're gonna just go through our list of pretty much these characters, and we're gonna tell you what's up. So obviously we're gonna start with our first person, Aichi Sendo. Royal Paladins is pretty much a deck of all knights being out. Your field should always have boosters, and you should be able to overpower your opponent almost every time when it comes to his deck. Royal Paladins aren't that hard to main. They're pretty easy to pick up, so I give them a 1 star of difficulty on learning the Royal Paladin deck. Kagros, again, this deck is kind of easy as well. This deck's all about retiring your opponent's rear guards a lot. And that's why Kagro is the most used, it's the most used set in this game so far. Because yes, retiring is godly; it does so much work. But I would give Kagros again. Kagros would be a 1 star for me on learning because it's all about retiring your opponent's back row as much as you can and keeping up the momentum. That's why they have Seal Blockade Dragon that does freaking stops intercepts. So they have a lot of good triple rare cards already. So. Oracle Think Tank, this deck is a little bit more complicated for new users or people getting into this game. Oracle Think Tank would be a definite 3 star just because it is a lot more thinking. You have to do a lot more with it, but not too much, but it is harder to main because you have to know when to make your plays known and when you have to do your trigger checks. The whole point about Oracle Think Tank is they look at the top of the deck and they're all about draw power. So you should be able to have a hand. That's why you run crits in it. And we'll go over trigger checking in another video. But yeah, Oracle Think Tank, if you were thinking about maining this deck, it's a little 3 star difficulty setting. It's a lot to work with. That's if you want to learn it. Nova Grapplers, normal deck. I give it a 1 star as well. They're all about stands. Asura Kaiser is Kamui's main unit. And he makes everyone he can make his unit stand up every time you drive track a grade 3, and that grade 3 comes with a power-up trigger, so it's even more of a plus when you have Asura Kaiser with you. It is a good thing. It's a good build. It's easy to learn. Nova Grapplers are pretty straightforward. Even the Riser decks, Riser to Asura and all that, easy deck to pick up, so that would be a 1 star for me, and that's all. Dark Irregulars, I put at a 2. The only reason with Dark Irregulars, if you're just about to start this game, is they soul charge a lot, but they're also like Kagro. They destroy back row, but they're a lot more trickier to maintain with the cards they have right now. Edelrose being their Searcher, which you put into a heal trigger, and Amon, besides Death Anchor in the background, Amon is legit one of the big units Tetsu uses, so. And that helps you retire rear guards in the back. So again, the point of the Dark Irregulars is, in this game, in this format of 0, is pretty much destroy the back row so no units can overpower Amon. Pale Moon, this one gets a 3-star from me. It's a very difficult deck. You have to play it a couple times to kind of get the feel of it, the motion, the play style, because it all revolves around the Trapeze Artist and the Malice Doll Alice for now in this format we have. So she would be a 3-star difficulty if you're starting this game. She is a lot more work to use just because of the soul charging. You got to know when to make your plays known, and you got to make sure you do your trapeze plays right because she can legit go on a offensive every time with the Pale Moon cards, and that's what Pale Moon's a little bit about. They're a little bit of a big offensive deck once they start hitting the Vanguard. Spike Brothers, 2. This is a 2-star deck because, again, this one requires a little bit more of a thinking game, to a point where you got to know when you're going to hit with your Skydiver. As you can see in the background, that is Skydiver. It looks like a Common Rider. But Skydiver sets up a lot of the damage plays. That's why you don't usually would run a lot of crits, which we're going to be going over in another video on the deck build. But yeah, Spike Brothers is a 2. They're a little tricky to learn because you got to know your plays, especially when it comes to setting up your back row for them. But 2 stars for me on learning this type of deck because it's not as difficult, but it'll become easier when you play it a bit more. It's one of those types of decks. Oracle Think Tank, Pale Moon I'm still thinking about them because they're a lot of work with. So you gotta make sure you plan ahead so you don't lose any time. All-time favorite, Dimensional Police. This also would get like a 2-star for me. This deck is pretty much standing, but you don't run stand triggers. That's why you have the Captain Mural, Captain Laurel, and pretty much he stands your Vanguard every time he hits a unit. But you have to rest 4 of your rear guards. But that's still good because that means you get a quadruple drive check, which is amazing sometimes. And it's not too bad of a deck to where like you would get confused, but it is a normal average deck you can pick up on the more you play. It's one of those. Bermuda Triangle, honestly, this would be kind of a 3 for me because they have so many grade 3 plays where it's all about returning the unit on your field back to your hand after it's attacked. Then you just call it back again. That unit gets its effect again because it's being called back to the rear guard circle. Bermuda Triangle is interesting. It is lolly material, but it is definitely a 3-star type of learning if you were going to pick up this type of waifu type deck in a way. But yeah, 3 stars for this. It's really tough to do the Bermuda. You just have to keep playing it until you can get used to it. But this one's also a little bit more of a thinking because you got to know your soul charges and you got to know when to do your Persona Blast and effects. And Grand Blue, sadly to hear that they don't get too much support in the Japan servers, but Grand Blue is like, I give them like 2 stars on this one. Normal deck, you have to know when to get your graveyard effects off, especially when it comes to Night Mist. Conserve your counterblasting if necessary, but that's definitely one of the difficulty settings I would put this deck at, just a 2, because it's a little difficult to understand at first, but then when you start seeing the plays more, you'll start to pick it up. So pretty much that's my difficulty list on Vanguard 0 so far. We got more characters coming soon, and we'll be reviewing what their difficulty setting will be after they release. So thanks for watching. Until next time, I hope this video was informative for you guys to understanding what decks you would want to tackle, build, and all that good stuff. So peace out, be good, and stay safe.